Hi there, welcome to Farming on 15 Degrees, and this week has been most probably the hardest week of my life. I lost Badger and it was a pure accident, and I thought about doing this video and really I didn't realise that a lot of people like looking at the photos and the videos of Badger and Ginger on Facebook, on YouTube. And so when people were saying, I'm ever so sorry that you've had an accident with Badger, I thought maybe I should tell people what happened to Badger. I'm not going to go into the glorified details, but just like a broad view of my experience of having a stock animal as a pet, because that's the one thing I want to get like over to you. Is it's alright having a cat and a dog, a budgie, a canary, a guinea pig, but when you come into these kind of things, obviously a lot bigger, and they're a stock animal. And what I found out since last Saturday is that the veterinary practice in this area, they don't cover pigs, or they don't cover cattle, or they don't cover, so they specialise in only certain animals, and their focus is really on like a particular species, so like a cat or a dog. And I could see the point where you can pick up a dog or a cat hopefully and take it to the vets and have treatment, but you obviously you can't pick up a pig and rush to the vets. So on Saturday when this accident happened, you know, Badger was in a lot of pain. Didn't know what had happened, but I kind of had my suspicions, and I'll tell you later. And so, with all the panic and the upset, I started ringing the vets in our area. Now I rang about 5 or 6 vets. Everyone said, no, we can't help you. And I was like, what? You can't help me? I've got a pig that's serious, an animal that's seriously injured, and you can't help me. And it was clearly like, after work hours we'll come out and have a look, or once we've got all our appointments done we'll have a look, or just no, we can't help you. So the welfare of an animal was not their priority. And I don't want this video to be all about just saying bad things about the veterinary practice in this area, what is South East Queensland, but my impression or my experience from last Saturday was they were only interested in animals that could be taken to their practice. They were not interested in coming out and helping somebody who was actually, I never ever do this, but I was begging for help. I was literally begging for help. I was that upset. Now, I cover most bases in life. I can ride a lot of bad things, like everybody can, but... And then, during the week, all the emotions have come out, like, was it right to have a pig? To bring him up as a pet? To walk him twice a day? To take him to my dam? To go swimming with him? To take photos of him? You know, is it right to have him so tame? You know, like... And what I found with people who I've talked to, yeah, the farmers are saying, oh, it's just a pig, you know, it's just some farmers say it's just a pig, and some other farmers have said, oh, what happened to him? Wanted to know the reasons why did he have an accident? Because we have wild pigs in Australia. They jump off people's cars, chase away from dogs, run through forests, destroy good arable land. You know, like you very rarely hear about a pig that is laid alive, alive on the ground. So, you know, was it my fault? You know, and that's what I've been asking myself all week. Was it my fault? You know, like I've become so close to them in the last year and a half. I kind of like know what they were thinking. So I know that Ginger now is blocking me view, but he wants to go for a walk. He wants to go out and he wants to go to the toilet, and he wants a little little stroll around. So that's what we're going to do in the video. So the conclusion to asking people, was it wrong to have badger as a pet, is no, it wasn't. He would have had a couple more months of life if I hadn't rescued him and somebody would have killed him and they would have processed him and eaten it and had him as a meal. Now that is okay, I have nothing against it as long as you kill it in a humane way. It had a good quality of life up to that point. I'm not going into that argument. So yeah. So this week, yeah, I didn't realise people would even care about my pigs. But on Facebook, I have been posting some pictures because it is unusual to have a pig, and that's the reason why I came into this problem on Saturday that nobody could help. Now, so we've done the conversation about the vets. I would warn anybody to do a practice run of the worst case scenario to your local vet. So I'd ring the vets and say, would you come out and look after my pig? If I rang you straight away, would you come out and give me the proper service that I require? And if they say, well, yeah, maybe not, just forget it. Forget it. That is not the avenue to take. So then you've got to look, and I'm afraid to say, you've got to look at people with gun licenses and guns. Or look at other ways of being able to get the treatment that you would need to euthanize an animal of this size. And that's my strong message. Do not waste your time going to a veterinary practice if they're like, yeah, we look at your animal, we'll give them a microchip, we'll put you on your database, we'll look after you, you bring him down here in a trailer. Like, they haven't got a clue. And it was proven on Saturday. And I'm not going to mention the name of the veterinary group because I rang 5 of them. And the only one, what was local to us, said ring the RSPCA. What is like the animal rescue of our country, the RSPCA, like in England. And a chap called Wayne came out, lovely chap, he'll have seen this many a times. And he came out and he said, I can't do anything to the animal. And I was like, what? I said, I can't do anything to the animal. We can ring the police and they will come and they will dispatch the animal. And I thought, well, I don't think that would happen in England. But in Australia, that is some option that you have, that the police will come out and dispatch an injured animal. So it could be like a kangaroo on the side of the road, or it could be a cow that's strayed across the road and that it's injured and that they need something doing instantly, and the police would deal with that. And I thought, well, that's a brilliant service. So that was one thing. And so Wayne came out. But at exactly the same time, in my panic, I rang somebody up that I remember him talking about just purchasing a gun license. And he's very keen on caring for wildlife. He's keen at growing veggies, and he has beehives. But I just remember a conversation I had. He'd just started gun shooting. And he'd got his licence and he was going to a club and he was doing target practicing. And I believe that Mark would never shoot an animal for fun, or he would never shoot an animal because you can. Like in a particular season you can shoot a particular animal. He would have a gun licence purely for enjoyment to do target shooting. So anyway, on the Saturday when I was panicking, it just came across my mind to give him a ring. I'm so glad I rang him. I'm so glad. Because he actually came out, and with the RSPCA officer, they could dispatch badger. And they did it in a humane and caring way. I couldn't have asked a better scenario. And then you have the problem, you have a 100-kilo animal. What do you do with it? You know, yes, the old farmer that I saw during the week said, oh, yeah. No, actually, he didn't, sorry. He didn't say that. He actually said the particular type of gun that would be able to dispatch the animal. He didn't say to eat it. It was more, I was watching a YouTube clip about just general accidents on homesteading, and it's called Perma Pasture. Billy is his name on YouTube. I actually like some of the stuff. I like a lot of his contents of his videos, and this particular video was about having accidents when they can be preventable, because I believe an accident is a series of events. So this accident, I don't believe could have been prevented. But anyway, Billy from Perma Pasture said about, you literally, like, it's a bit like having chickens. You leave the coop door open, and that one particular night a fox comes and takes all your chickens. So it's a preventable accident. And he was saying that you have them, and that they rock you to the core, they hurt you in your stomach with the pain and the sadness that you get because it was so preventable. But this particular one wasn't. So anyway, the farmer didn't say to eat it. What Perma Pasture and Billy said was, you know, to use the animal to feed your other animals, so like your dogs, whatever. But that wasn't the case. So I had 100 kilos of pig. I rang somebody up who I work for, and I would say some of her ideas to grow veggies are absolutely crazy. But what I find with her is she says stuff that really I listen to. So I rang her and I just wanted to ask her if she would help me. I said, could you help me? I need to be able to lay badger to rest. And she lives on a farm. She doesn't own the farm. She lives on a particular part of the farm. And she said, I'll ring the farmer and see if he'll dig me a hole. Now, at this particular time, it was chucking down with rain. We've had so much rain over the last couple of months. It's just unusual for southeast Queensland. And so she rang the farmer, and the farmer called Matthew, said, yeah, I'll dig the hole. I thought, wow, you know, like, I don't know this chap. He's going to go out in the pouring rain. He's got all sorts of problems with water and rain, but he's going to help me. Again, don't ever ask for help. I've never asked for help. His wife met me, called Justine, and I had badger, and they took care of it. They dug the hole, they buried badger, and everything was done. And so reflecting on that, you know, we've got so much negativity going on in the world, but I always say a friend is a person who'll come to your house and lift your sideboard or your wardrobe out of the house for you. Somebody will give you a hand. And at that particular time, they were true friends. And so that's something I've taken on board this week, is that when you need help, you ask for it, because there's people out there, and I've actually gone back to these people and said, what can I do? What can I do? Can I buy you a crate of beer? And everyone has said, no, we're just helping you out. In your time of need, we're helping you out. So, yeah. So that's the story, what happened on the Saturday. Now, I want to just show you what happened. So I'm just going to grab the camera and I'm going to walk through. Now, me and Ginger are going to go for a walk after we've done the video. So yeah, I just want to show you what happened. And if you think that it could have been prevented, then write in the comments. I don't want you to write bad things like, yeah, you shouldn't take them for a walk or anything, because I've already made my mind up that was not how the accident happened, and the quality of life I've given these pigs is the best I could possibly do. So let's have a look at what happened. Right, are you coming for a walk? Yeah, did you? And by the way, now moving on from the accident, is now I've got to be like a pig because he's obviously lost his mate. It took 3 days for Ginger to start eating. So when he knows that Badger's gone, he didn't see him on the day I actually put him down in with the chickens, so he didn't see Badger injured. So that was a good thing. He knew that Badger had gone because he could smell. They have great sense of smell. Now, so he knows he's gone, and in the last couple of days he's picked up, his tail's wagging, he wants to go back down to the dam. That was the first time in about 6 days he wanted to go down to the dam. Now they love wallowing obviously, so he'd gone down there and wallowed, and he would come back up, and everything's good. So right, let's go and have a look. Now I'm going to jump over here because, again, this is what happens when you have a little homestead or a small little farm. You've got to go out to work, you've got things to do. This is just temporary really, but it works and I'm leaving it. I'm not touching it. Right. Come on then, Ginge. So, alright, now I will just, hopefully the camera will catch up, but, so you can see, there's some work to be done, there's some whippersnipping to do, land trimming, there's all sorts of little jobs, but it's been raining for so long, I just haven't been able to cut the grass. So this is a temporary fence, and this was only put up 2 weeks ago to stop Badger and Ginger from going into the back of the garden. I've got some seedlings, I've got some potted plants, I just didn't want them destroying it. So on that particular morning he knocked off this rail and they went into the back, and I thought, oh well, they'll destroy something but I'll sort it out later, like you do, worry about it later. And that was it. Now what he did was, I was coming up a path up here. So I was coming up a path up here, and there was my wife's red car parked over there. So he came, he jumped over this rail, and he was only walking. I could see him on the path. He come round here. Something happened at this point, and he picked up speed, a little bit of speed, and then he slipped and he landed here, and that's where his front right shoulder hit the ground. He picked himself up with no he had no movement in his back legs. He picked himself up, he went through to here, and he stopped there, right there, and he never moved. And that is what happened to Badger. Now, could I have prevented it? This is the most famous part of my property. This is like, even with all the rain, the ground is hard. So I just think it was an accident. Now Ginger now is off for his walk. So again, some temporary fencing here, and that is just to stop him from walking straight through there. It was working really well. And so I hope you've watched the video. Oh, before I forget, now Ginger, I know, he's going for a little pee stop, and he'll be all right for a couple of minutes. And they've got like a habit, they just wander down. Now, talking about people, so people have seen the photos on Facebook, and a couple called Sean and Jeffrey, they bought me 2 lovely plants, Gavilia, and I've got like a bottle brush flower. And funny enough, Badger used to eat the bottle brush flowers, and it used to drive me mad. Every time I got one, he would eat it off. So they're brilliant. I am so appreciative of that. 2 lovely plants I'm going to plant in my garden to remember Badger. And then my next door neighbour, you know, sometimes you have neighbours that are loud, or I have lovely neighbours. They've moved in about a year ago, and the children can't really. The children sent me a message. I'm going to read it out. So it says, "Dear Matthew and Yvette, I'm sorry about Badger, and he was a great pig, and we'll miss him very much, from the Greylands." And that sums it up. So these children have read this message. They understand that Badger's gone. I understand that Badger's gone. But God, we had some good memories. And if you've watched this video to the end, I really appreciate it. I really do. It means so much to me that you watched it to the end. So thank you very much, and I'll see you again.